cost you like 1 position, 2 position, maybe 3 position if you're really like if you're really winging it at the time. So if anyone is seizing the opportunity, they might seize it and they might dethrone you, not from those top position where you will have an easy chance of going forward, but also those next spots as well. So you have to make sure that you're absolutely giving your very best, 100% by all of these teams.
Check this out. In just a sec, I'm going to speak with a different accent. And just between you and me, I don't really know how. But okay. First, let's change it up so that
you're...
It doesn't matter. So you really have to get on with the program here. You have to keep up with the pace. You have to be aggressive in order for you to remain competitive. And again, you know, just dealing with KGZ, Mongolia, Iraq. I mean, they are the teams with the strongest force, I guess. And if you want to really take on that challenge, then you know what kind of rotations that you need to do. But, you know, one of the big surprises that I am enjoying right now is the fact that even if we have lesser teams in the lobby here, I mean, can you imagine ending Erangel at stage 4? I mean, everyone's not wasting the opportunity, the time here to retaliate up against each other. And that's what we like, right? I mean, we will always come for the action here, and these teams are delivering it to us.
I mean, yeah. Like the last match is was super aggressive at that point in time, and now it kind of makes me think that this match might even get more and more aggressive than even the before one, because it's only the final matches that's being conducted and everybody wants a piece of another team. The team knows, the bottom line teams knows that at this point surviving is not gonna cut. I mean, not to do anything, and the only thing they can do.
But okay, we will be wishing Torix, of course, the best of luck when it comes to his internet connection. But we'll sure to have him back in just a while, ladies and gents. So stay tuned. But anyway, we are about to start, of course, the final Erangel for this evening. This is the last chance for them to score as big as they can to stay in the competition. Final chance. Let's make it unforgettable. And now we are seeing the plane as we are about to go through another OG fight in this tournament. Now we're waiting where the flight path will start, but I think this is going mill to power. So from north to east, again, we do have a lot of space to work with when it comes to the south side. But then again, we'll just have to wait where the initial circle will land, because that would be the one dictating the pace of the game. Is it going to be the same rotation? Is it going to be the same drop clashes? In the previous Erangel, we've seen 3 teams actually drop in military base. They've had an altercation there. Is it going to be the same thing? But in the meantime, of course, we are waiting for the teams to pick their drop spots, and we'll just have to wait which of them is going to go for that clash. Okay, so far, I think military base will be completely unoccupied this time, but in Jorgapul already we have a fight going on, and that would be the boys of Syria. If I'm not mistaken, we've already had our first blood over here. Yeah, and I think they're having a fight here with, I'm checking the flag here, okay? The ones that are staying in Jorgapul here, Torix.
That is sad. Look at that circle. It's a disaster at this point in time for all of the teams that has decided to drop to the western side corner. It has gone straight up to the east. But ladies and gentlemen, northern side city, we're seeing it, and we are seeing some early casualties maybe in this area. We are seeing Lebanon. I am seeing another team that is Syria at this point in time into the area. So the fight is definitely inevitable. There is Wait all alone into the proximity. And one wrong move from this guy is going to be enough for the team to like actually aggress upon him, because you can see the rest of his team, it's nowhere to be found. But finally it's going to be spotted. The DBS is not going to cut it out. It's not going to do anything for the player, and there we have it. Wait gets a knockdown. Wait gets a finisher, and right there and then Lebanon is going to really lose second of their player. That's the second casualty that they're going to face. But the grenades are coming in from the side of Lebanon, not making any kind of connections that can potentially take the player down and out of commission. But Pablo 1897 is you have to see what he's going to do. But finally he's going to be bombarded with the sprays from Ali's side. It's a knockdown, and it will be a casualty. But Yusuf is on the front line taking the fight for against Zakaria versus Rex. The front lines as well. And oh my god, you finger the spray. It is going to
Yep, 4 points right off the bat here from Syria, eliminating the boys of Lebanon. It's just so unfortunate because Lebanon had already been working hard, to set up their momentum. Unfortunately, this is an early elimination for them, but hey, they still have a chance to better their overall position when it comes to the final two Miramar that we're going to have for the qualifiers. In the meantime, we're looking at the map feed over to the right side, and again, we do have at least 30% water over here, but there's a big chance, of course, the circle would still go back to land, majority at least. So we'll just have to wait for the next stages to come. But in the meantime, I feel like there will be a lot of gatekeeping opportunities right here, especially that we have at least 5 teams, that, of course, that needs to step into the zone here. And speaking of gatekeeping opportunities, I'm looking at Kazakhstan, I'm looking at Kuwait over here, and even, the boys of Mongolia who's staying in Rozok and school. So if we're looking at positions over here, they could capitalize on this one and assume a lot of points, to stay ahead in the competition. Okay, so for stage 1, just a few minutes into the game here, we only have one team that's been taken out. So I guess it's a happy looting stage, for most of the teams here. And probably they're talking about, okay, how are we going to do the rotations? How are we going to approach the situation? Do we need to be passive? Do we need to go for the aggression? Again, a lot of strategies will definitely come into play here, considering the fact that we are almost through with the qualifiers. So every step that they're going to take here in this competition is going to mean a lot.
It is right now like a lot to take for the teams, because we did witness the first fight that actually occurred, right? And after this, the fight has kind of stopped. Everybody else you're seeing that you're witnessing so far, they're either like chilling out, they're getting their arsenals, all of their loot that they can possibly take or something like that. But aside from all of this, I do want to see some kind of an action, maybe even a rotation fight. I wouldn't mind that. But Team Jordan in the Pachinki, finally, after securing all of that loot, all of those guns and arsenals that they really wanted, they're finally leaving this premises and they're leaving this area, mainly because the circle is not there. And the second phase, the second reason is that they do want some kind of an aggression for themselves as well. But here we go. We have a Kazakhstan once again. Last match, winner chicken dinner. In fact, that was Uzbekistan that got the winner chicken dinner of the last match, not Kazakhstan. But Kazakhstan right now is on our screen, ladies and gentlemen. Brook 10 on the front on the front side. United Arab Emirates. It's it. 1897 versus the S12K, and S12K is going to win it out, but for how long? As the player gets taken down, the second one, and wait a minute, that's the second guy that was coming up, but Thanos absolutely decimated him. HMD is also out of commission, and UAE just losing their player one after another. That's the third one down. L7N, the final hope for the team. It's everything residing on his shoulders.
You know, Kazakhstan is doing a great job here defending the compound. You know, the only thing that I can say about how United Arab Emirates is actually handling the situation is that if you're really going for a crash, if you're really going to a fight here, you just gotta commit, you know? I mean, one of them is already at the compound there, flashing out the players of UAE, or flashing out the players of Kazakhstan, and there was no backup. Right, so they had to get in there one by one. I think that was a major reason why they lost the fight.
That was the major reason. But it's kind of like UAE is doing it in every single match. Those small mistakes that comes round and rounding up to bigger ones. But ooh, wait a minute, Jordan, what happened? What happened in a single instance? The whole team just got absolutely decimated over here. This is not good. This is not good. Like no matter how you look at it. But Mongolia right now, ladies and gentlemen, is on our screen. Sung is here. Like so far, 0 elimination to the whole team. But that's the third team, Andy, that got eliminated within this first stage, within the 8-minute marker. It's not even been 8 minutes. This lobby is going crazy for Erangels.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Only goes to show that the competition is becoming tighter, you know, for most of the teams here. But yeah, it's so amazing that we're just at stage 1 and there's already 3 teams that got booted, you know, out of Erangel. So we're looking at 8 teams remaining, and we got Kuwait holding on to a compound over here. I'm just checking the surroundings if there will be teams actually challenging them for that specific spot. And looking at the situation, they're close with even KGZ. So this could be a 3-way battle.
Go east, but no, it goes to the northern side. Come on, I was waiting for the circle to go to the eastern corner towards the water side, but nope. I'm never getting my wishes, am I? But ladies and gentlemen, we're seeing some lot of casualties that may or may not occur in a short while, and I'm really just speculating this whole situation. The players are super close to each other's proximity, and it's just that one wrong move or one slight hand of mistake. It's gonna absolutely start that chain reaction of the fights and those aggression that's going to like actually begin from this point onward. T72 so far. The team on our screen. So into the area, Kyrgyzstan is also into the close vicinity, and they are ready to take that action against the other players. But Kyrgyzstan, no way. That's a 1 casualty coming on. Kazakh, let's see. You're pushing. You're slowly approaching the situation, and you definitely got that first initial knockout. The second one on the way as well. This is the right time. You have to push. You have to take that initiative and rush upon the full team, because if you don't, it's going to be a difficult situation. But Warrior, it is a definite. Warrior right here is going to take one down. He's going to throw another one into the face of the players. That's a second one going down, ladies and gentlemen. And right with this, Kyrgyzstan is definitely going to prevail for a little bit longer, but Warrior gets taken down. No. I believe that's a third party coming around. And now with the Kazakh, Kyrgyzstan, and on the back side, that third party Mongolia, we do have to see who's going to initiate and who's going to steal.
You know what? That nade coming from Warrior, from KGC, that was top notch. You know, because of that nade, that paved the way for KGC to actually reset. But then again, there's a huge target on their backs here. So it's going to be critical, you know, for all the teams here. I mean, just look at what is happening. This is mayhem. We got at least 4 teams going into battle in this specific spot. And who's going to be winning the fight? I honestly don't know. Iraq comes to play. We already have Rehan Dan on the ground here. Mongolia is monitoring the situation, and they are expressing all intentions to actually come into the fight as well. Let's see if Iraq can manage to completely wipe out all squads that are here inside this compound. And just look at that. Song already making a move here. Would love to cook a nade. Unfortunately, he's been taking some damage as well, coming from another angle. The kill feed is definitely lining up, and another nade elimination has been commenced here. And there's a lot of back and forth trades, which is, of course, very exciting for us.
It is very exciting for us, ladies and gentlemen. But here we go. We do have to see what's going to happen. Mongolia so far is on our screen, and oh my god, they're getting some shots. They're definitely getting some casualties maybe in a short while, but I am seeing the team Kazakh at this point in time, Kazakhstan and Vizier. the solo guy, the final guy. Everything is residing on him. Everything is right now on this guy. The moment he's going to make any single mistake, it's going to be all over for the whole team and for the whole country, at least in this match. We're down to the top 8. Even if you do get eliminated, you're only going to receive 1 placement point. You need those elimination. You need those casualties against the other teams if you want to secure that a decent placement for yourself. Because right now, Kazakh, I can see them at the hashtag number 7. 1 more elimination, and they're definitely going to take over Kuwait on the number 6. But Jordan, they're kind of far behind that. 13 more points before they can actually take away the Jordan's position. So Kazakhstan, you have to be very careful. But nope. It's all over. They're finally going to be eliminated. And right with this, Vizier, he gets eliminated by the hand of that 1897, the pump action shotgun on the face.
You just have to give it to KGZ. I mean, like, the number of teams actually tried to crash that compound was too many to handle, but not for KGZ, ladies and gents. I mean, after all that altercation, after all that exchange, they only suffered 1 loss. But in the meantime, we're looking at Iraq at the moment as they go up against another conflict being resolved. And yeah, I think they just got eliminated. Yeah, they're the next team to get booted out of Erangel, which brings us down to 6 teams remaining for stage 3 here. And again, it's an amazing exchange so far. And Salami and the rest of the group here was able to survive that clash. Hence, they will be moving forward to the latter stages of the match.
Oh my goodness, what is the circle? It's going to Napoleana, ladies and gentlemen. First two shifts. It was complete East Run. But now, suddenly, as the Napoleana, the complete city comes into the play, the circle has shifted toward the western side. Napoleana circle, maybe another hard shift might prevail and might go towards the Napoleana from the circle side. But ladies and gentlemen, we're down to the top 8 at this point. And 8 teams are the only one remaining into the match. And they're kind of doing it. It's either 6 or 8. I think it's 6 teams that is right now remaining. It's not 8. It's just the measly 6 teams in the third stage. I think that is going to definitely come true within the stage. For the stage number 5 is going to occur. Going to have Alvina chicken dinners take her this match.
You know what? I thought with a circle shift, like, most of the teams will head on over to Yasnaya since you know, like, there are a lot of compounds that they can actually stay. But no, okay. So it's a great thing since the circle moved out of Yasnaya. It's gonna be an open field here, so it's gonna be an even tougher battleground for the remaining 6 teams, I can say. But KGZ, okay, ready to leave the compound, ready to leave their sanctuary to challenge up other players from inside the field here. And I guess, you know, Alman, they just stepped into the zone, and they're not even shying away from an engagement here up against KGZ, which is rightfully so, because Alman, okay, they're trying to challenge the top dogs as we speak. And, you know, Action took a lot of damage. Same thing goes for Effect. They're looking at the floor. They're on bended knees. And Salami, that's a confirmation that he's been taken out of the lobby. Salami, Warrior bleeding out here in the open with no chance maybe for their teammates to pick him up. But the Steez here, okay, it's popping those smokes that he needs. But if he's going for the reset, he needs to do it fast because KGC coming into play. And again, with a DBS action, we're witnessing on screen at the moment. Steez was able to take someone down, but with a great follow through coming from KGZ, they were able to win that clash, which brings us down to 4 teams remaining here, ladies and gents. And Team Oman just got eliminated. So we got Mongolia, Uzbekistan, Kuwait, and Syria for the final gameplay here to secure the chicken dinner.
Stage 5 is about to occur within this 2 minutes, and we're down to the top 4, ladies and gentlemen. Only 15 players remaining into the game. Syria, Ali so far on our screen. He is going together with his team members to a safer side, to a safer angle, but he has Apollyon, ladies and gentlemen. It's still somewhat inside of that circle. It's still kind of into the safer side option. So the teams, they're doing good. They're doing okay, but Ragnar, for some reason, he wants to like go and find the players. That he wants to make sure that he spots the player down and get those casualties amongst them. Or maybe he's trying to bait the players into the open area where the rest of the Kuwait is actually gonna like wait with those scope ups to the teams, to the players. But Kuwait, I don't think you should be doing that. I don't think you should be doing that. Not at this point. Not at this moment, because your eastern side, your northern side, it's completely like open at this point in time. If you're too much into the open, there is a possibility that those third parties can actually shoot at you, that can actually rain upon you, and you might get eliminated. It is a fight of a 4 versus 4 versus 4 versus 3. MPL is the only team. Mongolia is the only name with the 3 man. Aside from that, every other team full man.
I mean, Kuwait right now is probably just getting some information, just like maybe trying to figure out what the next step should be. They're close with Syria, so perhaps Syria's also thinking as well, gauging the situation, whether it's already safe for them to maybe challenge Kuwait this particular matchup. But we can see Ali moving around in circles here, trying to get close to the fire, just like a moth here. But if he gets too close, that could be dangerous, for Syria. That could, of course, provoke Kuwait to get into a fight with them. And again, hard shift from the circle. This time it favored Mongolia. So this could be a huge advantage for Mongolia. This could probably get their numbers up.
Up is one thing, but maintaining that number is another one. Yes, you can make sure that you're like securing those elimination numbers, but you're also putting yourself into the harm's way. Right now, what my suggestion is for the teams is kind of play it safe, make sure that the other teams are taking the fight against each other, and at that point in time, do a third party or some sort of like that. Steal those eliminations by keeping yourself into a safer distance where they can't shoot you, but you can shoot them. Try to find a blind spot against them, right? Then, because of that, you might be able to like overtake and overpressure them at that point in time and secure that when I'm going to check in there. But so far, ladies and gentlemen, it is these top 4 teams that is absolutely going crazy by surviving. And imagine, Andy, from stage number 4, we were at the top 4. Now imagine the stage goes all the way up to the stage 8.
But for this 4 teams, it's anybody's bowl game for now. Stage 5, we got plenty of space to work with just for, like 4 teams inside the game. Giro is not wasting an opportunity, though, to score some point. That was a heavy rain of fire there coming from Mongolia. Yusef tried to answer back, but this only will go to their damage output. I don't think any elimination would, would occur in this position. Yeah, one of them's got knocked down, right? But I think they're still safe, they could still adjust their gameplay. I feel like most of the gunshots that we'll hear from this teams are all just warning shots. But anyway, the fight continues on, ladies and gents. And just like what we said, there's a lot of space going on for all the teams here. So it's best to really analyze the situation. You got to size up the competition. You got to pick the right location for like when you can really take advantage and stay ahead of the competition. In Kuwait and the rest of the teams, they're really taking their time. They're not really doing anything that's so ridiculous that could end up, with them getting eliminated. So I feel like since this is more of an information gameplay, I think we'll just have to really be patient, for now. But in the meantime, coming off the kill feed, it's Kuwait right now losing a member over here, an aggressor. He spots Meshal, went in for the spray, but did not connect at all. So we can see smokes being popped. You can hear a lot of gunshots still. And there you go. Desert Fae with a knockdown. But this time, can he translate this into an elimination point? And yes, sir, that he did, ladies and gents. I mean, with all of those nades being thrown up against Kuwait, Uzbekistan right now knows exactly that this is the right timing for them to kind of step in and take charge and get as much elimination points as they can. And there you go, ladies and gents. Just like that, Kuwait.
So, do you want advice or do you want to vent?
Vent. Definitely vent.
Gotcha. Vent mode on.
I just can't believe she said that to me. We're supposed to be friends.
Totally valid response.
What do you think I should say?
Try telling her how you feel.
I can't keep taking all of this disrespect. It's pushing me away.
That's real, but maybe there's a version that feels more you.
Okay. I've been thinking, and I want to be honest about how I feel.
Just like
that initial knockout, the grenades are going to make their way. The nades are coming in hot. There we go. One grenade. It's a splash damage, not the casualty coming around. Raindrop is coming in as rain and dropping down a Yusuf. Raindrop, low on that HP. Heal yourself. In the meanwhile, the cover fire from Desert Fae is definitely commence as Desert Fae takes down Rex. There's also M7M that's going to take the player down as well. Raindrop, heal yourself, go forward as soon as you can. The grenades are going back and forth, back and forth. Nobody's making connection, and Raindrop gets knocked down with that one grenade. It's a 1 versus 1, ladies and gentlemen. That's going on. M7M is finally going to go for that rescue, but third party came in. It's a 1 versus 4 now. 1 versus 4, and we know who's gonna take this winner chicken dinner because of this fact that there is only one player alive, and on the other side, the full squad is right here to take that aggressive stance. Aggressor is here with the aggression of the grenade. There is also Joink making sure that he finds out where the players, where the enemy is situated at. The grenade is not gonna make any connections, but Jiro's grenade, let's see if he's going to be able to make any connections. Joink, nope, no connection whatsoever. Finally, the players going for the fight, going for the sprays, trying to make some connections. Faye in a different compound, Jiro in a different compound. The grenades are coming in hot, and anyone that's going to get a knockdown will absolutely be the decider factor that, okay, who's going to survive and who's not going to survive. And finally, Faye gets knocked down. Jiro, the final hope of the team. It's everything on this guy. Now, finally, players are going to muster up the courage. They're going to push it up. Joink from one angle. There is Spidey on the different angle. Spidey gets knocked down. He will get a confirmation maybe in a short while, but no confirmation on the way. The Molotov is here. He's literally on fire. Jiro, jumping out, jumping down, taking that shot, but Koji comes into the play, and there we have it. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's a winner chicken dinner once again.
all right, here we go. 2 chicken dinners for Uzbekistan, this time in the final round of Erangel. I just have a little bit of question with that final gameplay coming from Jiro. I mean, I did see a gas tank, at the top of the stairs. I mean, he could easily, right? Just wait for someone to actually step into the line there. He could have just made it explode, but he went from the second floor down to the ground, and he kind of just exposed himself, so giving away that chicken dinner to Uzbekistan. But then again, we're talking about the last remaining player here from Mongolia. I mean, they came so close to getting their second chicken dinner of the night as well, but you have to give it to Uzbekistan. I mean, they did their best. They waited for the right opportunity, and, a deserving win, I can say, for Uzbekistan. This is the final blow, ladies and gentlemen. This was a final blow, and this is where Jiro actually stepped from the second floor down to the ground, and that was a great anticipation again coming from Uzbekistan, and again, a nice gameplay still coming from Mongolia. It doesn't discount the fact that Mongolia has been, super aggressive and really stepping up their gameplay here, and it's a nice improve, right? Coming from this team. But you know what? Uzbekistan is really doing their best to catch up, and that's what we like to see. You know, that brewing rivalry, the tenacity, the aggression coming from these teams here. I just know that you guys are getting crazy down there in the comment section. So just please make it rain a lot of positive comments down there. So if you're looking at the stats here, again, it's Uzbekistan getting the WWCD. We got Aggressor with 2 elimination points, but with a 322 damage output. So out of the 4, okay, so I mean, everyone got 3 points except for Aggressor, but it's a teamwork that makes a dream work, baby.
It's the teamwork that makes the dream work, and with those 11 elimination, that's 2 points that we're talking about. And we were talking about this a while ago, that the teams, if they want to like secure that #1 placement, they want to like make sure that they're securing 20 plus points in every single match. This team has decided to do that, just that. But going on to the match summary, it is 40 eliminations with 43 knockouts, 4,222 of the total heals, 13 revives, 104 throwables used, 272,000 kilometers. The longest elimination distance in this match is 305 with 14 headshots. Survival time of total from all the teams, whether they like when they were completely into the game, it's 9 hours and 31 minutes accumulated of all of their time. What's kind of into the
So head-to-head teams, again, you know, we're looking at Uzbekistan and a KGZ Kyrgyzstan. 11 elimination points, so that's 11-7. Damage output, it's 1,181. And assists with 4, knockouts with 6. So this is a major step up, again, coming from Uzbekistan. Imagine 2 chicken dinners in a night. So that only goes to show that, you know, they're very interested to take a spot in the grand finals, but we're talking about 2 more matches here, ladies and gents. Will it be enough, you know, for Uzbekistan to really dominate? And again, you just have to give it to KGZ as well, even though they haven't been bagging the chicken dinner, you know, for today. But when it comes to the elimination points, they're pretty hot, you know, with the triggers. So there is no doubt that KGZ will be moving forward to the grand finals. I mean, like, it's going to be a crazy surprise if like KGC will be dethroned, to be honest. So we're just going to look at, and we're going to focus our attention onto the teams that might be finishing at 2nd and 3rd place. But just in case you just tuned in, of course, we're done with the final Erangel, and Uzbekistan once again getting a double-digit finish and a very strong one. This time, it's already 21 points. That was 20 points in the previous Erangel. So these guys are really dropping some serious elimination points here. Mongolia with 12, Syria with 10, and Kyrgyzstan with 10. So 4 teams that actually dominated here and well, ended the game with a double-digit score. And as for Turkmenistan, okay, it's gonna be okay. I mean, they haven't really gotten any numbers, you know, for this round. But we did talk about the fact that, you know, even if you don't really perform well in a tournament, but the fact that you have this experience, you can learn a lot, you know, from everything, like from the mistakes, like from the rotations that you do, from the other teams, how they handle each situation. And you can definitely apply what you have learned so far in other tournaments, so you can always improve on your strategy. And speaking of the overall standings, again, KGZ at the top. I don't think anyone would be successful enough to dethrone him, that is for sure. Uzbekistan finally was able to top Mongolia when it comes to the overall standings. They're currently tied up with 96 points, but it can still change, ladies and gents. That's what makes it very exciting. 2 more matches to go. Iraq coming in at 4, Jordan, Kuwait. I think at this time around, we should be focusing our energy on the top 5 teams here. You know, they're the ones that are pretty close to one another. So it's going to be an exciting night for each and every one of us. But this time, we're done with Erangel. We're done with Sandhog. It's going to be 2 Miramars back to back. It's going to involve a different strategy this time. So those teams that might be having quite an explosive rotations, you know, and every engagement. I think that's going to change since this is the biggest map that we have in the competitive scene. But before we discuss everything that we think is about to go down, we will be taking a short break, ladies and gents. So please don't go away. Continue to support the live stream and continue to support the teams. We'll be back after a short while.
All right, so we are here back again, ladies and gentlemen. So hopefully everything's all right and everyone's having a good time as well, especially now that Kyrgyzstan, with 136 points, they are definitely going to be in the top 3 for sure, for sure. But other than that, how I see it, the points are still tight enough for that third spot to be taken away. So it could be any team that's close by. My name is Sir Cloud, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the IESF World Esports Championship Asia and Oceania Regional Qualifiers. And 2 more games to go. 2 of these games will be played inside of Miramar. So who will it be? You guys will need to stay tuned and find out. And then by the end of the 2 games, we'll be wrapping up Group A and we'll determine who will be the top seeding to move on to the next round. So we just saw another new team getting the chicken dinner from the last Erangel match, and that is Uzbekistan. And because of that, they now go up to 2nd place. But are they safe enough? This will be the question. Based on the points, they probably need to be consistent for perhaps 1 more game at least, and then they will have enough of a cushion for the last game. So we'll see how that one goes. But welcome back, Torix, my buddy here together with me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sir Cloud. We're back. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Asia and Oceania Qualifiers, the final day for the group number A. Only 2 more matches remains, and these 2 more matches are going to be a disaster. You know why, Sir Cloud? Because they are the Miramars.
So it's a disaster because they are the Miramars. Okay. I guess we can expect a lot more action inside of the Miramar match itself. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And yeah, because it's the last 2 games, right? So last 2 games, normally, okay, this is the trend in PUBG Mobile Esports, right? When it comes to the last few games, normally teams will just go all out, especially if some of those teams, they feel that they have nothing much to play for. So they will just have fun, test their firepower, and whoever they see, they will just go for it. I believe you did see a bit of that during the last Erangel match.
Oh, last 2 Erangels, they definitely did. They definitely did. They were super aggressive on that. But that also makes me believe that these 2 Miramars are also going to be onto the same side, where we do usually see Miramar go a very stalemate by all of these teams. They might go for a very aggressive this time around because it's only 2 more matches. The team has nothing to lose at this point, right? The bottom lines, they can't even secure that top 3. They absolutely have nothing to do. They absolutely have nowhere else to go, but maybe the maximum top 5, top 6 at that point in time, and they will kind of go aggressive because of that. Even if they can't get that number 3, number 2 spot, they will try to even deny that number 2 and number 3 spot to right now the retainers of that spots.
Yeah, in other words, they want to be the villains of the storyline, right?
yes.
They try to stop the heroes from actually achieving the goal of saving the princess at the end of the story. So let's see who might be the villain, or maybe the villain might try to stop the hero just for the hero to win the fight and gain more points. We don't know. So that's something that we'll need to stay tuned here. Of course, we're going to roll in a new map that's going to be Miramar. And this is not the first time this group meet inside Miramar. They met 2 days ago during the first day of the Group A, so they should be very familiar with each other. Then it becomes a choice whether they want to challenge each other for a particular drop spot.
I mean, day number 1 and day number 2, today's day, comparison-wise is a very different scenario. Day number 1, we were seeing the teams completely go for a safer side. They were not taking the fight whatsoever until like the stage number 5, stage number 6, until stage number 7. But today, the same group, the same teams, the same roster is going super aggressive for some reason. That it feels like the day number 1 to me. At that point in time, this is the kind of aggression that we usually do see on the day number 1s and the start of the games, but they're showing this kind of an aggression to the end of these particular factors and these particular days. It makes me want to believe that, okay, they have something in mind and they are here with a vision to their side, with a vision that they came, and I want to see what kind of a vision do they have in store for us by the end of all the 6 matches.
Yeah, and I guess like what you said, right? That's because like the top of the chart is starting to take shape, and that's why like at the bottom, some of them feel that you know what, we might as well go at it, have fun, whatever happens, we enjoy ourselves, and that's where we start to see that trend starting to happen in Erangel. There was like a few fights that like there were so many teams just clump up to each other, like
Yeah.
everybody just went in like as if it was a brawl for one particular compound, and well, everybody just looks like they just want to have fun and just go at it. And at the end of the day, that's the whole point about esports as
Yeah.
well, right? It's all about having fun. And speaking about having fun, we're gonna have our fun here in Miramar.
We're gonna definitely have the fun in the Miramar matches, ladies and gentlemen. The Miramar has finally begun. The first of the very final few matches is on our screen. The second last match of the day for the group number A, starting from El Azhar all the way to the western side of El Pozo. The plane line is kind of bisecting to the northern favored line, where southern side, those Spartona areas, Minas del Sur, Valle del Mar, they're not going to be accessible. Even Los Leones at this point in time, Sir Cloud, it's not accessible whatsoever by anybody.
Yeah, so they probably, if they still want to go there, they'll need to take a vehicle somewhere in between and go directly into Los Leones. City that can house up to 3 teams. Anything more, they definitely need to fight for territory. But considering the trend of teams here in the Miramars that we have seen before this, I don't expect to see Los Leones to be a heavy battleground. In fact, from the early drop that we can see here, nobody's really interested in Los Leones yet.
Yet. The key point, yet right now, because the moment anybody's gonna see, I'm gonna go for that. Picado yesterday, even for the group number B, Picado was one of the places that was kind of like getting contested. And once again today as well, with these 11 teams, Picado is going to be the first contestation point for all of these names. And we can see Picado being dropped down by Oman so far. Alongside of them is going to be the team Kuwait. Kuwait, Fahidan, he is with the AKM, but only 20 bullets. Wait a minute. Where did the 30 bullets and those 10 extra bullets that gets loaded go? That's my question.
Maybe they unloaded it earlier on or something like that. So perhaps. But it's also a thing that if you were to pick up a weapon, you don't gain any ammunition except for the ones inside the magazine.
Yeah.
So that's why they don't have anything in the reserves yet until they pick up any other bullets on the ground.
That's true. I completely forgot about that the guns do not have the bullets in them as you pick up. You have to manually reload everything. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have the fight. Michelle with the 1897, the pump action. He's ready to take that action. But Ahmad is finally going to take the player down. That's a 1 casualty going around. Oman again together. Come on, Amar. I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for the opportunity, but no, the opportunity is not going to present to this guy. He's going to get taken down. Finally, with this, it's a 1 versus 2 casualty that actually has happened in this particular vicinity. Alongside of that, that's the first elimination. Fahidan, that's going to secure that the first elimination from all of this fight, all of this scenario, it's going to happen. That's 10 teams that has joined. We were already missing 1, but now we're missing another team. Only 40 players. 40 players joined this time, Sir Cloud.
Oh, but Hadri, he showed himself to the side. Unfortunately, gunned down. And now his teammate will need to save him. But he is together with his other teammate, so he should be back up really soon unless Oman decides to push. But Oman, not going to take that risk. They will focus on to looting first. And I believe that is a good move by Oman since everyone is still nice and fresh inside of Picado, so might as well focus on to getting the necessary utilities before deciding on what to do next.
I mean, yeah, utilities is one definite thing that you want to make sure that you have the, like, too much excess of. You need as many utilities as you can, possibly you can take to initiate a fight and to execute one as well. Because initiating with the utilities is one thing, but executing
Peak Frames Original Sandwich. Originals are forever.
Anybody else, all the other teams, so whether it's Los Leones or the Northern Corners, Cruz del Valle, the teams have a very considerable, decent amount of distance, right? They're not going to get into any fight whatsoever. And even this radius of a circle, it's enough to actually have every single one of the teams inside of it and not take any fight.
Well, what I find interesting is the split of some of the teams, including Syria. Like they have one player around the area of water treatment and 3 other players totally elsewhere. So it's an interesting strategy that they deploy very early on. But we're going to see a strategy here by Kuwait. They want to respond back to Oman. Now with 3 players going up against 2 from Oman, they do have the numbers and they surely know that they have the man advantage. It's a matter of sniffing out where exactly the remaining 2 members are and try to take them out, but they're also quite clear that these 2 players are inside of this one particular building.
Yeah, they're definitely sure that they're inside the casino. So finally, with the casino being pushed upon, Steezy, I want to see you get some decent number of knockouts. At the very least, 1 knockout to the 1 confirmation. Michelle got a lot of damage, but finally the sprays are going to come from the top. And Steezy not only gets taken down, it's a confirmation on Salami 24 as well. With Salam being out, it is all over for the Oman. Oman, the first team in this match, in the second last match, to get absolutely destroyed and thrown back to the lobby.
Nice and clean by Kuwait at the other day. They didn't lose a single player while gaining 4 elimination points very early on. And because we have 10 teams in the lobby this time, so by 1 team out and eliminated, now we're down to 9 teams. 1 more team eliminated, that means all the teams remaining will start to gain placement points. Let's see what might happen here. We have Iraq just right in front of Syria. And Syria monitoring the situation, but not really pulling the trigger yet. But I believe that they will be forced into a fight soon.
They definitely will be. I mean, at this point in time, everybody's going for that eliminations, right? M7M, he spotted the player. He shot at the cars. He couldn't make any connection onto the players whatsoever. Even right now, after getting that mag reloaded, he's not able to get a knockdown on the guy. This is absolutely like going crazy. That boat sprays, 60 bullets. This guy has wasted upon the players. He couldn't get even a decent amount of damage upon the guys. Again, that's 90 bullets now that I'm counting. Everything on the car, not a single one on the player.
But Rexina is now currently down, and his teammates on the way to save him. Or maybe not. They're actually turning away, I guess, because Iraq is holding him hostage. That's why they are not following him for the bait. Instead, the 3 players, they are getting together right now. I think they're kind of deciding on whether it's going to be worth it to save their teammate.
I mean, yeah, it would be like worth saving that teammate, but you have to make sure that you're also like in a very, very decent spot that you can actually take the player down as well, because it's the same position that your player got knocked down. Going over there without any backup or any of the situation where you can make a cover for yourself, it's actually a suicide. You're going straight up to your own demise. But there we go. The player's finally going to get eliminated. They're here for that revenge factor now. Syria is finally going to take that revenge. Rex is super low in that HP, and he's actually providing, even with the knockout factor, he is providing the locations of the enemies to his team members. But finally, AZ is going to come in. He's going to get that elimination from the vehicle. And right with this, we're going to lose a player from a full-fledged team. But on the other side, we are seeing more and more fights. Lebanon on our screen. There is Uzbekistan taking the fight. Both parties. Zakaria is going to be down. And Uzbekistan is going to have that first initial knock against Zakaria. And Zakaria will definitely get eliminated.
And that's surely a point here for Uzbekistan. Now they have claimed it, taken out weights. But at the same time, Kuwait in a fight somewhere else as well. Okay, multiple fights seems to be happening elsewhere, including Kyrgyzstan also in the fight. Okay, we're going to see a lot more fights happening here now that teams are starting to be activated. And only 1 player left now for Kuwait. We have Bidan here all alone. for him to save his other teammates. Unless he's able to knock down all the players of Kyrgyzstan, it's going to be impossible for him to go in for the save.
I mean, yeah, he has to actually eliminate one more player before he can safely deduce to go for the rescue and the rescue mission. Feidan, I don't think there's going to be any chance of you surviving with your team members, so you just have to survive all alone. At this point in time, just go away, get out of there as soon as you can, because after Kyrgyzstan is done with their rescue, with their revival, they're pushing on this guy. They're definitely coming in hot with those cars, with those shotguns in the hand, but they don't realize that already the player has gone to maybe like 70, 80 meters more to the backside, but going on the top of the mountain, he's going to be spotted. The sprays are coming. And Feidan, with this, it's all over for the guy.
And it's all over for Kuwait. Becomes the next team to be eliminated at number 9. 8 more teams left. Everyone's starting to collect placement points. On the elimination feed, Mongolia seems to be in action as well. So looks like the action is over. They managed to collect that elimination point, but they're looking for more. Trying to find the next Kazakhstan player passing by right in front of them.
My God. Kazakh right now, they're on the hashtag 8. 3 players remaining. Lebanon, on the other hand, they're down to the very last guy on the hashtag number 9. Situation is not looking good, no matter how you look at it. But still, this top 8, it's still a very, very early fight that we're seeing. Stage number 2 is about to close down in 10 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Desert Fae finally gets taken down. There we have it. Kazakh initiating those knockdowns against the players of Mongolia. Mongolia is going to lose 1 player, but at the same time, they're not giving up. They're making sure that those prawn sprays are coming up. Eastern side shift circle, ladies and gentlemen. It is the truck stop. That's kind of going hard with that circle shift. LSR close to the vicinity as well, but still all of the LSR is outskirts, outside of that playable area. Majority of the circle is in the open. There are some small warehouses, those shacks, those compounds that you can put yourself for a short bit of time, but not too long, because you stay there too long, you're going to get comfortable. And as you get comfortable, you're not going to be able to efficiently handle all those fights that is about to occur.
But check out truck stop. We have at least 3 teams here, including Kazakhstan. And for you, all alone, but he's still going in for it, just to be shot down from the other side by Jiro. And that is Kazakhstan eliminated. Looks like teams are starting to fall like flies right now. We also have Iraq making a showing in truck stop. Now, they want to get a piece of Mongolia.
They want that. They do want that. But only 7 teams are remaining. And let me tell you, 7 teams may look a small number, but I will remind you once again that we started with 10 teams. We started with only 10 teams. So 3 teams getting eliminated in 3 stages. It's not too much of a hassle. But yeah, the circle shift, how big of a circle is and what kind of a situation is going on compared to that, yes, it's a big thing. We might even see this match end in the stage number 6, just like the Erangels, just like all the other Erangels that we witnessed, the second Erangel, the third Erangel. But so far, Mongolia is on our screen. Now Syria is Ali with the Mini 14. The tap fires coming in hot, not make any connections. Come on. You need to make those connections, man. You have to have those connections upon the players if you want to like have any chances of securing a decent placement, a decent position. I have to give it to Uzbekistan that whatever they did into the past 2 matches, into those Erangels, it was a phenomenal. It was amazing. But now, once again, Mongolia has secured their hashtag number 2, but Iraq is being overpushed from the number 3 to the number 4.
Well, Kyrgyzstan is definitely taking their time, still spending time in the blue. Jiro seems to be forced out, and now he's in the blue as well. But his teammate at least is within the circle, but he needs to find a way to be able to follow up. Last we checked, at the minimap, there was another team in front of Jiro, so not sure how easy would it be for him to follow up with his teammate soon.
This is a question that we do have to ask. We do have to know what's going to be the next phase and what's going to be the new strategy for the players. But I see GG Jiro outskirts of the play zone. Sung, on the other hand, look at him. One player is at the hard south side, one player is on the hard western side, and the player on the eastern corners, the eastern sides, they're finally going against each other. Iraq is here versus the Kyrgyzstan. The fight will definitely ensue as both parties have initiated the fights, and those sprays coming in on both angles. The first damage that was coming up, it's definitely going to make sure that the player is absolutely going crazy from this point onward. The grenades are going hot, but not making any connections enough for the knockouts. You have to use those grenades, man. You have to use those grenades. But I see Jiro being eliminated, outskirts of the play zone, eliminated by the players of the GSG, and it's over. The player is over. They're down to the last guy. Mongolia's down to the last guy. Again, grenades are going, not making the connections enough for the knockouts. What is happening here?
Ooh, what's happening is that Kyrgyzstan still wants to find an angle, especially Warrior here, looking for that flank. He's cooking up the nade, and Warrior now with the nade sent across. It does connect, but not able to get a knock. In fact, got knocked down instead. Now it's going to be Fly and Warrior, as Warrior will go down. One more to go. It's going to be Fly within the smoke. But while all this is happening, Mongolia just got eliminated.
They definitely did. They definitely did. They just absolutely got decimated. Kyrgyzstan is also out. We're down to the top 5, ladies and gentlemen. And from this top 5, you can deduce the top 1. Lebanon is down to the last guys. 1 player all remaining. Syria 3. The rest of the teams, Iraq, Jordan, and at the same time, Uzbekistan. Everybody else is a full man squad at this point, Sir Cloud.
Oh, yeah. Already 5 teams left now. Only at stage 4. This round is running really, really fast. And out of the 5 teams, 2 of them, Jordan and Uzbekistan, still a full team, giving them the best chance of scoring the chicken dinner.
Anybody that's a full man squad, that has a full squad to their name, they have the best chance of securing the winner chicken, no matter how you look at it. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, it is G72 Spidey on our screen. So far in the front line, there's the Lebanon last guy as well, the solo guy that is right now remaining. He's super low in that HP. He's 1 bullet away from being annihilated out of this match. Fadel, let's see, the Molotov is there. He's using that full first med kit at this point. Back to the 100% he goes, and the fight is the party is being brought up to him at this point in time. He's throwing those grenades, not going to make any connections, but he's also somewhere into the proximity where he is in the circle and he's not at the circle, inside that circle at the same time. The moment the stage is going to close down, he's going to be outskirts of the circle. And mind I tell you, if the team wanted to play it safe, they could have waited out for the player to actually move to the circle and then take them down. But no, it's not enough. Lebanon, they want the player to get eliminated. They want to make sure, Uzbekistan wants to make sure that they get their eliminations by themselves, rather than waiting for the player to actually approach them.
Well, he didn't really heal up in time. Even if it did, I don't think he'll be able to tank that much damage. But still getting the 1 knockdown is commendable. Too bad he was not able to secure that elimination point, and it was kind of close, but it is what it is. And because of that, now, top 4 teams.
Top 4 teams so far. And out of those top 4, in fact, I see 2 close once again to each other. One is Iraq. The other one should be into the proximity. That is Jordan. Yes, it is Jordan. On our mini screen, we can see the 1 knockout that has happened, that has occurred, and the players are finally pushing up into the vicinity, into the area to secure more and more eliminations for themselves. Uzbekistan, I want to see what they are going to do into this area. Are they going to do a third party from the backside? Are they going to approach the situation? Or we're going to see this fight first happen, and then Uzbekistan from a different angle, hearing all those shots, hearing all those commotions, they're going to come into the proximity or onto the place, doing a third party into the play. But Iraq, so far 5 elimination. Uzbekistan, 5 elimination. Jordan in the meanwhile with just the 1 alongside of Syria.
Uzbekistan now still with Jordan. The only 2 teams with a full squad. Manpower is definitely on their side. Now it's a matter of strategy, positioning. Who are they going to get to pick up first? That might determine who will get the chicken dinner. And now we're at the stage where it's kind of like the calm before the storm. But looking at the current situation, it seems that Uzbekistan, they're interested to look for their next target, and they will find their next one.
They do have to know what's the next target, and they do definitely have to find that next target whatsoever at this point in time. One wrong move, one slight hand of a mistake, it's going to be enough to provide your location to the other team. And from that point onward, you know what's happening. You know how this lobby is going. It's going to go absolutely crazy, and that's what's happening. Uzbekistan, one player is going to get taken down. That's a knockdown, waiting for a confirmation to happen as we see Jordan finally pushing on to the rest of the team. Uzbekistan's player, Join gets a taken down as well. Spidey and Koji, the only two guys remaining into the area, into the proximity. One player is away. Koji is also into the other side of the proximity, into the western side corner of the the circle, the safe zone area. So it was a 2-2 split, where one split got absolutely denied their elimination numbers, more elimination numbers in fact, and the other half, the other two players, they're still struggling to find some more eliminations.
Oh, and the airdrop by Clever, while some of the fights are happening elsewhere. And here we have a long range with a Mini 14 from on top of this hill, beautifully executed. But let's see if they can gain more out of that. So far, Iraq, 5 elimination points, doing pretty decent in this round. And after the fight that Uzbekistan had earlier on, a bit of an update right now. Jordan is now the only team with a full squad.
He is also the full, only team with a full squad at this point in time. He's doing absolutely crazy, trying his level best to secure as many eliminations as possible for now. But we do have to know, we do have to see what he's actually going to be doing from this point onward. He can't just go around into the areas, try to figure out, okay, this is the fight that I want to do, this is the fight that I don't want to do. No, this is not how it works. You have to make sure that right now at this area, you are the one and only that's going to survive with all of those proximity of the players. Uzbekistan, so far, Spidey on our screen, just sitting in the shack, waiting for the players to actually approach him, so he can actually give them the element of surprise. But Syria, Jordan, these two teams, in fact, at this point in time, in which case I only see Syria being the team that has 3-man. In fact, Jordan is the only team that is with the 4-man standing. So it's a 1 versus 3 versus 3 versus 4 that's going on.
Now still with the high ground, but no longer in the circle. So for Syria, they need to leave this high ground. Unfortunately for Ali, his Mini 14 might not be as useful on the lower ground, so he has to drop down. But looks like he sent out his teammates to do the scouting work before he decides on where to go, which is fine. He can be the last one to drop down, can still play that support role while the blue is still not onto him yet. So he can take his time. I don't see any other team challenging his spot for sure.
Oh, I absolutely see nobody challenging his spot at this point in time. But yes, this is stage number 6, ladies and gentlemen, and we're still on the top 4. The 1-3-3-4 situation is still going on. It is going to be not for long, as we are seeing Syria finally pushing up to the players. And that solo guy, Spidey, he's absolutely going to get decimated with a 1 grenade on his face. And M7MD is the one responsible with that grenade elimination. They're going to have their 3rd elimination whatsoever, but only 3 teams and 3 total teams are remaining from this point onward.
Well, now the next clash could be between Iraq and Jordan. And Jordan is on the lower ground, but Iraq, not all of them have this circle, so they have to move forward still. But they have a good spread against Jordan, though. Jordan, they seem to be still moving around the northern side, probably trying to decide on where exactly to go. But now, after those few shots, they know that somebody's on the right side. They return back to the left side, and that's probably the best spot if they want to stay safe. But now it's not the time to stay safe. It's time to consider the best position possible to get a pick off in order for them to execute their fight.
To initiate the fight, initiate that action whatsoever, or whatever they're doing, they have to top it up a notch. At this point in time, I don't believe so that you can just survive this much of an open area for yourself. So you have to take the fight to you. And right with this, Iraq is going to lose 2 of their players down to the very last guy. That is Aliko. Aliko, the one and only hope of the team. Everything is residing on this guy. Everything is up on this guy's shoulder. The moment he's going to make a mistake, any mistake whatsoever, it's going to be all over for the player. But there we go. The Mini 14 from Ali 25 from Syria's side. It's actually going to make some connections. It's going to get a knockdown. I think that was a steal of the elimination number. So they're good. They're good right now, but for how long? Because this fight has just turned up to an equilibrium with a 3 versus 3 versus 3.
Well, this is where who makes the first move loses, right? So everybody's holding the ground, but Aliko on the ground with the nade, and his teammate will need to save him. 50% of health left and currently bleeding out. Rehan will be gunned down with AUG.
Oh
Same
God.
goes. Clever getting one for himself. Yusuf gets Rehan out, back into the lobby. Aliku out as well. And it looks like there's only one team that's staying away from all these fights. There's Jordan monitoring the situation. They'll definitely come in as a third party when the time comes.
Oh yeah, they're definitely going to do a third party when the time is going to be right, but I don't think the time is right now. At this point, you have to secure those elimination numbers. You have to go for that engagement. Syria ready to take that action. They're going forward, they're coming back, and you can see Miracle from Jordan being on the very low HP side. Lyeth is also low, really low that HP. The core is going to move on its own, and it's going to expose Lyeth. Yusuf is going to seize that opportunity, take down Lyeth, and with this, now Jordan is the front line. Be very careful on what you're going to do. Clever moving from left towards, in fact, from right all the way to the left at the western side corner inside that safe zone area. But also Syria is also going to do the same. They're going to approach this safe zone. And the first thing that they're going to do, I think they're going to look at the team Iraq. At this point, if Iraq gets eliminated, it's an easy, buttery win for every other team then.
But the power shift seems to be towards Syria now with 3 players active. Jordan, only 2 left, and Iraq only 1. So they have a manpower advantage. But not only that, look at the spread that they're having within the circle right now. They're trying to gain as much ground as possible. And so far, so good for them. Jordan, on the other hand, rotates towards the left side. So they're going to play on the other end. One final play of Iraq in between these two teams, hoping for them not to spot him.
I mean, that's the thing. Either Iraq is going to do a third party in all of this amidst, steal some elimination, or they're going to do some amazing factors. Or maybe they're going to get eliminated. We never know. We never know. They can be taken down from 2 different angles. They will have nowhere else to go to either be eliminated or to take the fight head on. But Iraq, so far, Walker finally gonna get the shots, and it's over. Walker gets eliminated by the hand of Miracle, so it is right now a 3 versus 2. The players that is alive is a 3-man squad. They're going to be absolutely chill about this, that okay, we only have to deal with 2 players, so you don't have to deal with a 3 versus 3 scenario. It's not an equilibrium, or it can also be into their head a 1 versus a 3, where we have the 3, the other team might be a solo player, but Syria Alif 25 finally getting some shots, finally getting some connection. He's going to put himself into a safer side, but Jordan Miracle with the throwables and the smokes, he's going to make a slight bit cover for himself so far as the rest of the players from the Syria is going to approach his location.
Well, news update, Jordan is not really comfortable circle-wise that is, and they are split up very far. So if one player gets knocked down, the other player cannot save him. So they have to fend for themselves right now. Miracle is pretty low. This nade by Ali should do the job. Gets into the smoke. And that is going to be the nade that brings them the winner chicken dinner.
Winner, chicken dinner, ladies and gentlemen. Winner, and dusted. And now with this, there's only one more match remaining. Syria absolutely did crazy. 3-man alive, 3-man standing, got a winner with a chicken dinner, a decent amount of elimination points as well. This was the match number 11 in total out of the match number 12. In which case, now Syria with, I think, 9 or 10 eliminations, in fact, 6 or 7 elimination to their side. They're absolutely going to like have 16, 17, get harder and harder. Maintain their placement for the next match.
Well, congratulations to Syria. Chicken dinner with 8 elimination points. So that's 18 points collected by Syria. But will it be enough to revive their hopes to be at least in the top 3? Well, we need to look at the overalls later on. Because the points were quite tight in the middle. So I'm not sure by now. We need to leave it to officials to show us later. But while we wait for that to happen, looking over at some of the team stats from Syria, most of the players, they contributed to it. So we got Ali with 3, Joseph with 2, and we have GXM7MD. I'm not sure how to pronounce that one, but 3 eliminations. And Rex, unfortunately, he got eliminated fairly early, so not able to contribute to the eliminations for the team.
We are seeing some stats over there, ladies and gentlemen, but going on to the summary, that's 37 elimination with 36 knockouts coming into the way. We have a total heal of 4,595, total 8 revivals, 7 headshots. Coming up with the longest elimination distance is 353. Considering it is the Miramar, it's still kind of short because you can do absolutely 450 meters as well. But distance travel in this match is going to be 217,000 kilometers. Throwables used, on the other hand, only 65. Man, what is this Miramar? What is going on with this matches? Like, we're seeing less than 100 throwables. We're usually in 150, 180, 200. And if it's a Miramar, it also racks up to a 275, maybe 280 majority of the times. But throughout this whole Group A and the Group B, there's only once I've seen it cross the 200 threshold.
Yeah, but I guess the teams in this round, they really like to go guns blazing. So taking it very straightforward, hence the amount of throwables are pretty low or on the lower side. We're going to compare the stats between Syria and Uzbekistan here. The eliminations are not too far away, 8 and 5. But when it comes to damage output, Syria, 1,684 damage as compared to Uzbekistan, 899. They did a lot of work in this round.
They definitely did. We're almost seeing like double the stats on the damage chart at the very least. But going on to the match ranking, ladies and gentlemen, it is Syria with 18 points. That's 8 elimination we're talking about. Jordan now on the 2nd spot in this match at the very least, 11 total. Iraq with the 10, so top 3 is going to have the double digits. Then we're going to have Uzbekistan with elimination number of 5, a decent job that they have done. Kyrgyzstan also with a 4 until the top 7. Not the survivability. I'm seeing 1 survival point placement for it for Mongolia. I'm seeing 3 survival point for the Lebanon at that time with no casualty, no elimination whatsoever. Kazakhstan, in fact, is also another name that is just with 1 elimination and 1 placement point, so they got absolutely eliminated on the hashtag number 8 or 7, depending on the situation. But yeah, this is the match ranking of the first chart. Second chart will show us some more like bad scenarios with 0 points, and that's exactly what's going to happen. 0 points for UAE. Turkmenistan is also going to have 0 points. Oman eliminated on the hashtag number 10. They also have 0 points. So second chart is completely nil at this point in time. Overall ranking, it's going to absolutely destroy majority of the players.
Well, let's look at the overalls, and this is where it all matters, right? Kyrgyzstan, they will still retain their number 1 spot. No way they're going to drop out at number 1. Uzbekistan, number 2, 105 points, followed by Mongolia, 101 points. Now, Iraq is at 89 points. So mathematically, it's still possible for them to chase Mongolia.
It is mathematically right for them to chase the Mongolia at the very least. The number 3 spot and the number 2 spot, they're still like lacking behind. There's still a chance that someone might just take it over against them. But yes, the bottom lines, Oman, UAE, 1634 points right there. Number 10, in fact, number 9, we can see Lebanon. Lebanon did good in this match, but they fell short, and right now they're on the hashtag number 9. There is no way up until the point of 80, 89 that we can say anything about the fact that, okay, they're going to be able to get into the top 3. No, only Iraq has the chance right now. So it's between the number 2, number 3, and the number 4. The fight is amongst these 3 three teams, these three countries, to secure that number 3 or the number 2 spot for themselves. There's going to be one casualty in this, amongst these three. So only 2 of them are going to go forward amongst these three teams. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're almost down to our last match. Sir Cloud, only one more Miramar is remaining, and that Miramar is going to be amazing, let me tell you. But before heading over to that Miramar, ladies and gentlemen, we're also going to take a very short break. Do not go anywhere. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. We're back with the action, with the final action for the group number 8. This is the Asia and Oceania qualifiers, and we're here with our final match for the group number A. After this, the top 3 is going to go forward. But ladies and gentlemen, this is us, Torix. Together with me is Sir Cloud. Once again, so Sir Cloud, welcome back. And the last Miramar, it kind of went very, very aggressive, and that makes me think that even this Miramar is going to go absolutely chaotic.
Yeah, I think it's something that we can expect, right? Considering that it is the last match. And again, coming back to the theory of like some teams might think to themselves that, you know what, it's the last game. The points are impossible anyway. Let's just have a good time. It's a good training ground for us. Let's get a nice experience. So we could probably expect to see the same thing. But for some teams that are close to the borderline of like top 3, there's still a chance in the final round. So it's still anyone's game at that bracket on who might be in the top 3.
That's true. That's true. It is the final match. It is the bracket of the top 3 at this point. In fact, not the top 3. I'm thinking about the fact that it's between the number 2 up until the number 4. It's between those 3 teams in this final match. Those 3 teams are absolutely going to go crazy in terms of survival, in terms of making sure that their placement points or their survival points are coming up no matter what the situation is. One wrong mistake, one slight mistake from any one of those 3 teams, it's going to be enough to like completely break the momentum, and you're not going to be able to secure those points. You need what? The number 2 and the number 3, they're like 4 points behind each other. But from that point, it is 89 points, 105 or 102 to 89. That's like what? 12, 13, 15 to 17 points of a difference. So without a win of a chicken dinner and the number 2 and the number 3 team getting eliminated early on, I don't think there's any other chance.
Yeah, so a few factors need to happen, right? Like the teams on top needs to stop getting points, and the team just right at the borderline 4th place onwards will need to bring in the points as well. Considering that there is a limited amount of bodies on the battleground, right? So it's a high consideration for the number 4 team or number 5 team. They are very close to maybe do a hot drop.
I mean, hot drop wise, I feel like, yes, there is going to be a lot of hot drops here, but it can be the same situation like the previous Miramar, where we were not seeing any kind of hot drops aside from the Picado one. But after that, the teams were suddenly going up against each other in a very mutual way that they knew at that point in time that, okay, where the other team usually do drop. And they were like, yeah, let's go over there. Let's just end it and just send the fight towards the teams. Nobody was backing off from the fight. I love the fact that nobody was backing off from any of the fights. We didn't even see a single back off or single disengagement from any of the fight that were happening.
Yeah, and I guess that's also because of the fact that it is the biggest map in PUBG Mobile esports, right? So if teams were to choose not to fight, then there's a high possibility that they won't be fighting because of how large the map is, and there's a lot more space for them to navigate, especially with this sort of map. And also the circle was kind of nice as well, so you get extra space for the teams to play with. Hence, even though with this amount of teams, the game still went towards the very end of that match.
Yeah, that definitely circle wise, as much as there was aggression, we still saw like the teams kind of going till the very end of the circle, stage number 7, stage number 8, until to like fully commence the fight and fully engage it with a winner and a chicken dinner for themselves. So there is still the possibility of that happening over here, but that's going to be such a stalemate, man. That's going to be such a stalemate. We don't want that. We don't want that. We want the teams to actually go take the fight consistently. We want a consistent fight to happen amongst these teams at this point in time, because right now the bottom lines, they have nothing to lose. We definitely discussed about that. They have nothing to lose, but they have everything to gain at this point. They can make sure that the other team is also not qualifying with them. Your competitors may not go forward if you really want that to happen.
Yeah, so I'm looking again at some of our potential highlight teams, right? Like Iraq, one of the highlight teams that could mathematically still overtake Mongolia. Maybe Jordan if they can come up big, but it's a bit of a tall order for me. But I would say Iraq, they still stand a fairly good chance as well. But of course, it also has to add up to the fact that teams like Mongolia, even like Uzbekistan, cannot continue to gain points, and Iraq has to do well as well. So there has to be these two factors in order for Iraq to have a chance to be in top 3.
That's true. That's true. At this point, right now, it's everything down to this last match, man. It's everything to this match. And all of these teams, whether like they're going for a very aggressive approach from the very get-go, or they're gradually making it up for themselves, it all comes down to the fact that, okay, whatever they're doing it for a reason. They're doing it with a vision at this point. Yes, you're not going to be able to like secure that top spot for yourself, but yes, you're going out with a bang. You're making sure that you're getting your name into the lobby, and you're making sure that your name in the lobby is being called out by the team, that okay, this team eliminated that, this team eliminated this guy, and we are here to eliminate that team because of the fact that okay, they took out either our guys or our targets. You need to make a bounty on yourself to like be able to known to the other teams.
Oh yeah, that's definitely one, right? So in order for that to happen, they have to play it very actively. And we're already down to the final game of Group A. So this game will determine whether it's a yes or no. So it has to be all in for this one. If opportunities are let go, like they still play passively, then the chances of moving into the next round is going to be pretty slim. But let's see if that actually happens as we head on to our final game for Group A, ladies and gentlemen. It is the last game here. Miramar it is.
Miramar, it is the final game and the final push for the top three to secure their spot into the next phase, into the next big phase of the action. But ladies and gentlemen, talking about the playing line, it is going from the side of the Puerto Paraíso, southern side of the Puerto Paraíso, all the way to the western side of the Monte Nuevo, southern side favored playing line. Good whatsoever. First, we had like a northern favorite plane line. Now we have a south side favorite plane line. Yes, Valle del Mar, the Minas del Sur, the Picados, the Los Leones. It's going to be accessible for the teams, but the question still remains that how many of them are actually going to go crazy with the fights, with the aggressions from this point onward. I can see Partona being contested by two different teams at this point in time. There is a possibility that they can do it. Los Leones is another place, another city that we might get some casualties, some early fights.
Potentially even Chumacera, but it seems that maybe yes, maybe no. Okay, they're still hovering around deciding on whether they want to contest inside of Chumacera itself or not. Or maybe it's even Valle del Mar. But Circle is not there at all. Circle will start with La Bendita in the middle of it. Now we're going to zoom in onto Patona. You mentioned about this, and we're going to get a fight here involving Syria.
Oh my God, we have Syria, ladies and gentlemen, in the front line against Lebanon, and Lebanon is going to lose one of their players. No, M7MD, come on, you saw the player, but instantly got knocked out. Yusa, beautiful cover, beautiful retaliation, man, beautiful casualty coming on the Lebanon side, but Syria now you also not only have to go for the revive, but also take that final guy of the players, of the teams at this point in time. And Syria, judging from all of this action that's happening, it's kind of like a really difficult situation. Zakaria, the solo guy, remaining into the area, the solo player surviving into the phase. He's going for the push. He is going for that aggression. And Zakaria finding out that the player has just moved away from the angle, giving himself the heal. He is going to cook a grenade, going to throw it up. But before that grenade is going to explode, the player is going to take care of that. All of the situation as Yusuf does that second, in fact, one elimination. M7MT is going to have that second elimination, and he's absolutely going to get destroyed by the grenade that made its way there as well. But Iraq, so far, after the Partona early fight, we're seeing Iraq coming in as a third-party engagement. Syria, you have to go and get that rescue done as soon as possible, because now from this point onward, there is a third party lurking near you.
It should be enough time for Syria, but we're going to shift our focus now to Valle del Mar, where we have these two different teams here. And one of them is going to be Oman. They managed to get one knockdown from afar, so at least one angle is kind of clear for now. But they don't have enough information on where the remaining members of UAE are at. And that's going to be Salami securing that elimination point for Oman. Now, looking for the other members, but they seem to be quite scattered. One's on the left and one's on the right. But the risk for UAE is that if one of them gets knocked down, there's almost no way for them to be saved.
That's the thing. There's no way almost to be saved. And UAE, they're at the very bottom. I don't think they should be scared at this point in time. United Arab Emirates, you do have to go forward and take that fight head on at this point in time. You have nothing to lose, and that's exactly what they're doing. HMD is finally going to be taken down. It's a knockdown onto the player. The casualty is yet to come as El Chop, the last guy, the last hope in this particular vicinity. He is trying to get those engagements done, but remember this, that Oman with this engagement, they're ready to take that action up a notch. Steezy is there. There's Amar closing in. Steezy finally with the 4 bullets, 3 bullets. He's going to make a connection and get a knockdown. Another player of the United Arab Emirates gets taken down, leaving it up to the last 2 players. In which case scenario, I don't see any future. I don't see anything going good for them from this point onward. They're definitely going to reside better to go with the bang, go taking the fight rather than disengaging from it.
And Brook's not really moving, so it's a bit concerning there. But Oman, they're still looking for him. They want to just gain as many points as possible. But back on the Patona right now, and Iraq, they seem to have taken over Patona. Now they don't seem to be able to find their target yet. But they're still around the area of Patona though. Okay, here is Aziz. He saw that vehicle moving and it's going to be driven by Rex. He's going to drive into the side where Iraq is at. They set themselves up. Rex passes by and looks like they're not interested to pull the trigger.
To give it to them. This is not the situation to go. And they're going a very, very, in a risky movement, in a very stalemate situation. But Walker, come on, get that casualty. The answer is no, he cannot get that casualty. And that is a sad part on his end, ladies and gentlemen. He's not going to be able to secure that elimination number. And with this, the player is easily going to disengage from the fight. Going to go into the safer side, and maybe they're going to come back once again after they realize that, okay, we can take the fight, we can take that action. On the other side, we're seeing more and more teams. Valle del Mar is right now being contested by not 1, not 2, but 3 different regions, 3 different teams, 3 different countries, and every one of them want a piece of another one. But 1,000 meters away, I don't know where that placement was, but it was close to the waterbed.
But it seems like there's a trend that a lot of teams are heading towards the south, but maybe no longer, since that area is not in the circle. So everyone's going to focus around the area of Lost Learners. We can see that there's at least 2 teams there. And Valle del Mar looks like the final player of Oman has been eliminated. And that leaves us with 9 teams. Now Jordan's passing by Valle del Mar. He should be making their way into the circle now.
He should be. He should be making his way inside of that circle for now at this point in time. But Jordan, come on. With this paper cards to your disposal, getting some decent number of elimination, you have to make your way inside that circle. That's 2,000 meters we're talking about. It's 2,000 meters of a distance.
Save time creating content and generate a high-quality clone of your voice with 11 Labs. Change the way you record podcasts, voiceovers, and branded content with the #1 AI-powered voice-generating technology. Stop searching for the perfect voice and stop wasting time re-recording take after take. Try 11 Labs for free and start elevating your content today.
Meter of the very least from them by looting them up. But yes, he's going to revive one player. The circle is going to take a shift. And oh my God, this circle is looking really, really small one this time around. It's from 1 to 2nd stage. That is such a small circle out. Impala, yes, that's like the northern side of the Los Leones, La Bendita area, Graveyard. It's all in the circle right now. But Mongolia is going to lose some players. One player is knocked out on his knees. He's in dire need of that rescue. But already 4 teams have been casualtied out, and the fights happening around this area as the Mongolia is here alongside, I do believe so, that is Uzbekistan? No, Kazakhstan. That is over here, but there we go. The player car fumbled it, rolled over. He couldn't get out in time, and now finally, as Raindrop was looking at the other guy, he's finally going to be taken down. The Vizier is also here. S12K in the hand. Let's see if the S12K is going to make any connection. The answer is yes. He's going to make the connections. He's going to get a knockdown. And right with this, it is the GG Jiro, the final guy alive from all of the Mongolia side. Everything is residing on this guy's shoulder, and that is why he's leaving this premises. He wants to make sure that he has a chance of securing that top 3 placement maybe. So why not go with it?
Yeah, and Jiro will need to hold on for positioning points since he's the final player for Mongolia. And he's going to take the safe approach. We can see him just moving towards the circle, and his entry will not be denied. But here's a replay of whatever happened earlier on. So it was a fight between Kazakhstan as well as Mongolia. And for the most part, it was a CQC-ish. But so he had that one knot just for Kaiser to make a showing, beautifully executed back on the Song. And at the same time, Kaiser can save his teammates while getting that point out of Song itself.
The thing is, I have to say Mongolia did the right thing. In fact, Jiro did the right thing disengaging from the fight because he don't want to lose his 3rd placement into the overall ranking at this point in time. He's going for a complete safe sound area. We're going to see this guy after this fight, after the one that we just witnessed, into the very last stages if he survives the blue and if he survives the wrath of the teams. He's not going to definitely take any kind of fights. Kuwait on the front line, ladies and gentlemen, on our screen. And in the front line, that is the KGZ. Kyrgyzstan on the front line. Warrior taking those shots, shooting at the players, at his opponents as well, trying to secure some elimination number, but he's ultimately going to fail on securing those eliminations for now. He's going to try again with the utilities that is at his disposal. Warrior in the front line, the S12K finally making a connection, knockdown confirmation coming up, and you can see Kyrgyzstan, how well they have cemented themselves into this fight. They took down 2 more of the Kuwait, making it sure that the last guy, that is a Ranger, he's the only hope for the team whatsoever.
Oh, and Kyrgyzstan, even though they are confirmed to be at number 1, but they're not stopping yet in terms of aggression. Want to have a good time this round. And now they will secure their next elimination point. Kuwait only has Ragnar left. And he's also in the position where he needs to play for placement points. Michal has been eliminated. Effect will pick up that point. But they have no idea where Ragnar is at. Now Ragnar lobs that smoke. So that will somehow give away his position.
I mean, Smokes, yes, is giving out his position, but at the same time, there's only top 7 teams. It's not too much of a difference at this point in time. You're going to be spotted out from one direction or another one because this is such a small circle at this point in time. But Kyrgyzstan, effect, beautiful shots, man. Beautiful shots on Jordan's player. That is a lot of damage upon the players. Kuwait in the vicinity as well. Ragnar, oh my God, getting a knockdown on Kyrgyzstan's players. He's going for that confirmation. He's going for the confirmation, but he's going to get a knockdown on another one if he's really, really lucky. Flyke, he's 1 bullet away from being eliminated, but Ragnar is finally going to change his gun. He's knockdown upon maybe the player. The answer is no. He didn't get a knockdown. He did a lot of damage upon the players, but oh my God, in the close vicinity, he did a knockdown. The player jumped out of the car. He got knocked out himself. No way. Kyrgyzstan, in a single instance, it's all over for them as Warrior gets annihilated and Ragnar securing that 1 elimination to their side. Iraq in the front lines as well. The sprays are coming up. QBZ not making any connection. Come on, Walker. It's up to you. It's up to you. 1 more bullet, 2 more bullets. That's all it's going to take, and that's exactly what it took to take down Ragnar. Kuwait is out of the match, and we're down to the top 6.
And that's going to be Iraq. They already have 5 elimination points, while Mongolia only has 1. and they only have one player left. But as long as Mongolia is not eliminated yet, Iraq, they're still not ahead of Mongolia for that third spot at least. So they still need to find that final player of Mongolia and eliminate him first.
I mean, this is the top 6 now from this point onward, and the top 6 is one of them, Kyrgyzstan, one is Iraq. There is like the possibility of the fight that may occur at the Los Leones northern side areas. You can see the fight near the airdrop, and it is like a 1 versus 3, I do believe so. That's right now occurring. Kyrgyzstan, the solo guy, the only hope for every single team. Let's see, Kyrgyzstan, the grenade is not going to make the connections. Almost down to the last guy. They're almost done, and they're almost dusted out from this game. 3 elimination to their side, and no matter what any other team is going to do, it's not going to make a difference to the number 1. That is Kyrgyzstan. That is for sure. But Kyrgyzstan, I'm so baffled to see. Like, they have their number 1 secured. They have their number 1 confirmed, but they're yet still going for the fights, and they're going to take one more down. That's a knock, not a confirmation. After this, Ragnarok is finally going to pick his player up. It is going to get him into the cover and give that revive successfully.
Yeah, with the fact that Kyrgyzstan has to be eliminated at number 6, like what you said, not going to be a problem for them. Surely they will retain their number 1 spot. So that's okay. The bigger question is that for Mongolia, but as long as Jiro here still stays alive, they'll be fine. And now they're all in the top 5. And just to revisit who has the manpower, Uzbekistan and Jordan, again, just like the previous round, they retain all 4 of their players at the stage.
That they did. That they definitely did. But now we're down to the top 5. This is not like your typical situation, but 1 grenade, that's 2 down. Oh my beauty, Jiro. You're an amazing fragger at this point in time, man. You are an absolute beast. Going on into the front, Jiro, he's over here. Let's see what he's going to be able to do. Can he secure those eliminations? The answer is yes. 1 elimination secured, the second one being rescued, being revived. There we go. And right with this, it's a 1 versus 3 scenario once again. But I do love the fact that after Jiro's grenade, the team is like, yeah, we're not coming in, we're not rushing in, but suddenly they're getting shots from the back angle. No way! That's a third party, ladies and gentlemen. That's a third party going on, and beautifully done, Iraq. Beautifully done with that third party taking 1 down, confirming it up. And after this, even Spidey, he's gonna bleed out to elimination.
And Jiro has assistance from Iraq, but now Iraq, they're gonna come and claim their taxes. They're looking for Jiro right now. Jiro is all alone still in this building. Obviously, since he's the last player for Team Mongolia. 3 onto 1 right now. Jiro not really making a move, but he does have DBS, a very clutchable weapon. Gets 1. Can he get a second one? Yes, he will. 1 more to go on the right side, but Jiro is pretty low as well. He needs to make sure that this shot does count. Switches to an AUG because he needs to reload his DBS. Will he have enough time? And looks like he will, but this nade by Koji might just do the trick. But no, Jiro is still alive. Oh wait a second.
Oh my God.
Oh, Jiro is finally out.
Oh, finally out, man. Finally. He did amazing. I have to give it to him. He did so amazing surviving till like this time and point. It was absolutely phenomenal. I loved every single part of that fight, every single like engagement from all of this situation, right? But now going on to the Uzbekistan as they're out or down to the last 2, the top 2. It is right now the situation that's going to put everything down to the very minuscule scale. It's either a 4, it's a 3 versus 3 in my opinion. I think it's a 3 versus 3 going around, but let's see what's going to happen. They are here closing in. Kazakhstan, come on, I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for these 3 players to actually push and aggress upon the players.
And now it's only Ragnarok against the world with the fact that Leif has been eliminated. So it's very likely to be a Kazakhstan chicken dinner here. Unless Ragnarok can come up with an insane clutch. Let's see if that's doable for him. Well, he'll start off with a big nade here onto Kaiser. And now the rest of them will start to rush in. Ragnarok, only down to 50% of health, and they know which building he's at. He's running to the other end, hoping to buy enough time for him to heal up, but he still fights back. But still, nothing will stop Kazakhstan from locking in the final chicken dinner in Group A.
Beautifully done, Kazakhstan. Beautifully done. These guys are amazing. I have to give to them. This is, I think, their third winner chicken dinner, or I think I'm confusing the teams at this point. This is the winner chicken dinner for the Kazakhstan this time around, ladies and gentlemen. That is one thing for sure. But yes, the way that these guys played, I also have to give it to Mongolia. The way Mongolia played, the single guy, Jiro. He was an absolute beast at the very end. Momentum. He was healing himself, and at that time, the player just pushed on him, couldn't give him enough breather space, and just got that elimination. With this, now the top two, it was residing, and finally, it was Ragnarok that got eliminated at the very end. And with this, Kazakhstan, 7 eliminations, securing that winner chicken dinner. Sifu, we have the 400 as the most damage. We have the same guy with the most elimination numbers as 3. Then we have Meta, Naggi, with the most survival time, 17 minutes and 41 seconds, with Nagi having the most assist as well.
Yeah, with 7 eliminations, so that's 17 points for Kazakhstan. But I don't think that would change too much in terms of their fate moving forward. Before we head on to the overall stats and also the match stats, here's a little bit of a breakdown of Kazakhstan and their elimination points. So everybody in general contributed towards the points in this round, including Nagi, the only 1 elimination, but he receives only 46 damage. So he's quite a ninja in this round, if you ask me.
He definitely was. He definitely was. But at the same time, I have to give it to these guys. A very amazing gameplay that these guys have done. But going on to the match summary, ladies and gentlemen, this is the match summary for the final match of the group number A. Total with the elimination number of 41. We have 44 total knockouts, 4,532 of the healing, 14 revivals, 48 grenades, 165,000 meters of the distance travel. Longest elimination is going to be 227. In comparison to the Miramar, that's a very, very small number. 5 total headshots and a 7 hour of total survival time from every single one of the team members, or every single one of the team or players in this match. With airdrop looted, just 1. This is the final summary of the group number A.
Well, here's the head-to-head before we head on to the overall standings. Kazakhstan with 7 eliminations, but Jordan with 10 eliminations. I guess they had the ambition of trying to push the 3rd spot. But with the fact that Jiro, representing Mongolia, he lasted quite long. So based on whatever that the team got, plus placement points, I don't think any team would be able to overtake Mongolia, thanks to Jiro as well. But zooming in onto the stats, of course, naturally with 10 eliminations, you get more damage together with it. And here is the match ranking here. Kazakhstan with their chicken dinner, followed by Jordan, 16 points, at Iraq, 12 points. Wow, that's a lot. But Mongolia also scored 6, so it's definitely not enough for Iraq to be at number 3.
Yeah, that's the thing. Iraq, I don't think you're going to be on the number 3 at this point in time, but still, we can hope for that situation to occur. But this is the first shot, ladies and gentlemen, from 17, 16, 12, all the way up to 666, 3, 5, 2, 2, somewhere of that sort. Second page, I can tell you one thing for sure, that it's going to be on the 0 side. We're not going to see even a single 1 point in the second page from 10, 11, and 12 players. But all in all, that's the main question. That is the main concerning part, because the top 3 from the overall will go forward. We'll go to the next phase. We're just waiting for the overall to actually occur, to actually be shown on the screen. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 3, 2, 1, and Uzbekistan and Mongolia. Uzbekistan with that winner chicken dinner. Beautifully. In fact, Kazakhstan was the team that got the winner chicken dinner. Uzbekistan did amazing with those retaliation, those back-to-back winner chicken dinners that they did in Erangel matches. And in this match, they were consistent. But still, it is 147, 111, 107 points, then 101, just 6 points behind Iraq. You had the you came very close, but still, those 6 points are still going to put you very far. You're not going to be able to go forward.
Yeah, they came close. Even if they met the tiebreaker would also favor Iraq because they have 2 chicken dinners as compared to Mongolia with 1. So it's just too unfortunate for them that they came this close. But I guess they just need to try again the next round. And again, the whole catalyst to all this is because Jero, he survived that long. So that's the start of the catalyst for Mongolia to be able to be in the top 3. And they stayed away from Iraq when it comes to the overall standings. But anyway, GG, well played to Iraq and also all the other teams as well. Congratulations to Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, and Mongolia for hitting top 3.
Yep, that is one thing for sure. Congratulations to you guys, and better luck next time to the rest of you guys. There is always a next time. There is always a next time. You didn't do good today, you may do good tomorrow. So make sure you do not get disheartened from all of this action that actually occurred. You learned a valuable lesson. You learned a lot of decent strategies from your opponents. And with the strategies, you might be able to conquer them next time. But this was all it from you guys this time around. Only the top 3 is moving forward. But now, Sir Cloud, we have the top 3 from the Group A. Tomorrow is going to be the Group B. Then we're going to have the really the top 6 that's actually going to move forward from the Asia and Oceania qualifiers.
Yes, tomorrow will be another day, and it will be the second day for Group B. So you don't want to miss out on the action. Tomorrow is going to be the same time, same channel, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you subscribe to the channel of IESF where you're watching this live stream right now. But before we end, we'd like to thank everybody for watching this live stream. Thank you so much to the amazing production team for bringing us this show, and also to IESF for having this tournament for all of us to enjoy. Thank you so much to Torix as well as Red Queen for sharing the desk with me today. We'll be back again tomorrow for more PUBG Mobile esports action. So see you again tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.